Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Ruach, Kodash, double honors unto the elder apostles, a great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now this is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 21, titled, David Visits Ahimelech. Verse 1. Then came David to Nob, which is a place, to Ahimelech the priest. And Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David, and said unto him, Why art thou alone, and no man with thee? And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, The king, Saul, had commanded me a business, and had said unto me, That no man know anything of the business whereabout I sent thee, and what I have commanded thee. And I have appointed my servants to such and such a place. Now therefore, what is under thine hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread in my hand, or what there is present. And the priest answered David, because he was hungry. David was hungry, so he asked him, What's in your hand over there? And said, There is no common bread under my hand, but there is hallowed bread. If the young men have kept themselves at least 3 days, there's hollow bread. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women. And David answered the priest, and said unto him, Of a truth, women have I kept from us. Of a truth, women have been kept from us about 3 days since I came out. And the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in the manner common, yea, though it were sanctified this day in the vessel. So he said that he stayed away from women for about 3 days, and you can still catch that in the scriptures here. When you want to meet in front of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, when you want to do spiritual things, then it's about 3 days that you should keep away from having sex. Exodus chapter 19, verse 15. And he said unto the people, Moses said unto the people, Be ready against the 3rd day, come not at your wives. So about 3 days from refraining from sex, then you're basically clean again in order to stand in front of Yahweh, the Most High Yahweh. But in this case, it was the chariot. But if he was to do spiritual things, then if I'm correct, as a priest, that's why a priest, because the priest has to do, ceremonies and stuff like that, and he cannot be unclean. So if he wants to do really holy things, he should refrain himself from sex 3 days, or at least other things, or at least at the sundown, there. But if you want to do real holy things, then it's 3 days, right, since I came out. So verse 6. So the priest gave him hallowed bread. Oh yeah, and he was actually not allowed to do it, but just like how Yahushua said in the time of Matthew chapter, in the time of the New Testament, then it was said here, because the wicked Pharisees and the Sadducees, they was talking about that you are not allowed to pick corn, even to pluck the ears of the corn, to eat, even if you were hungry, because it was the Sabbath day. But Yahushua said, Matthew 12 and 3, But Yahushua said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was a-hungered, and they that were with him, because he was with men here. He was with a few men, the young men, but he came alone, loose from them, but he was with them. Behold, let me see. Was a-hungered, and they that were with him, how he entered into the house of Yahweh, where the ark of the covenant was, and did eat the showbread, which was supposed to be on display, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. So, and also the priests, they profane the Sabbath day and are not blameless. You know, because if I'm correct, they are allowed to kindle fires and stuff like that. If I'm correct. Not sure. I need to check that up again. So, for example, this proves that, let's say it's a Sabbath day, but you came from the work and the sun is down and you haven't eaten the whole day. You are allowed to go to the store and buy yourself some food. Because normally you're not allowed to buy nor sell upon the Sabbath days. Well, let's say you have to sell something in order to get some money, in order to get some food. You are allowed to do that just for food's sake. Not for to make some money or some stuff like that. Matthew 12 explains that because the Sabbath is made for the man, not man for the Sabbath. Let me see. What? Man. Let me see. Son of man. It says it's over here. The Sabbath is made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Mark. Okay, Mark 2:27. It says here, and he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is the Lord also of the Sabbath. Sorry. Right, so going back to over here. But there was no bread there but the showbread. So the priest gave him hollow bread. For there was no bread there but the showbread. That was taken from before Yahweh, because it was there as just like how people have a shrine. Well, that's how the Lord, his showbread was on display in the tabernacle. Inside in the tent, then you have here the showbread. Here, the showbread. You have the showbread in there. That was on display for Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. That's why people nowadays, until this day, they do it in South America. They do this. They do shrines with water and bread. Even in the East India do it, and Asia, which is India. India is in Asia, you could say. But yeah, all these heathen nations, they do it also unto their gods. Yeah, right. So they put food in front of their statues and stuff like that. Fruits, nuts, whatever. They also put water. Here you can see him putting water for his thing. You know, there's an Edomite, living in there, in that region, doing their customs. To put hot bread in the day when it was taken out. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before Yahweh. He was probably doing some services, so he had to stay there and do some stuff. And his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. Now if you check out this word, it actually doesn't say an Edomite. It says an Syrian, which is Aram. And you can catch that here. If you go to the book of course, 1 Samuel 21. Where did I put it? Wait. Here. 1 Samuel 21, verse 7. It says here, Doeg, an Edomite. So if you click on the word Hebrew 130, Hebrew 130 here. Hebrew 130, it says Ahdamya. which is Edomite or Ahdam, right? And if you go further here to the Strong's definition, help legend, it says Ahdam, yeah. And it says here ahdawam, yeah. Ahdawam, yeah, that's Edomite. Patronymic from this one, Hebrew 123, which is Edom, goes into the Edom, it goes into Esau, you know. Ahdawam, it says it here again. No, let me see. Ahdawam, yeah, ahdawam. And here it says ahdawam, yeah. Right. So it says patronymic from 123. So it refers to Esau. But then it says C, Hebrew 726. So if you click on Hebrew 726, Hebrew 726, it says here, right? An Edomite, or descendants from or inhabitants of Edom, Edomite. So Hebrew 726, it says the root word, a clerical error for 130, so Hebrew 130. Ahdam. So it says that it's supposed to be Ahdam, but why, if it's a clerical error, why don't you fix it up? Because that's not their job. Their job is to confuse the masses upon the planet Earth. Now this work is clerical, which goes into the word clerky. And what is a clerky? A clerky is a person that is busy with the church here. Cleric, it says a priest. A clerky is a priest. So they're telling you that this is a priestly error. So it's the priest that did this. The ones that translated this Bible, those did it. Because it says here, ahdawam. So you have the other one, which is here, Ahdam, and you spell it like this. Sorry, ahdawam, yeah. But if you wait, let me spell it how it says it there. Ahdawam, yeah. So you say ahdawam, but it says here first one, ahdawam, yeah. Ahdawam. That's how you then therefore spell it, ahdawam. And the other one here, ahdawam, is this one, ahdawam, so you spell it like. So they say that they got an error because they typed in instead of an R, they typed a D. So let me see. So ahdawam and ahdawam. So this is how they say that they made the error, right? But if it's an error, why don't you fix it? Well, because they're lying to you. That's why. They're goddamn liars. And that is what it is. Revelation chapter 20, verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years be fulfilled. So after 1,000 years he will deceive the nations. And after that he must be let loose. He must be loose a little season. Verse 8. Revelation 20 and 8. And he shall go to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. So it was allowed for him to go and deceive the four nations. The nations in the four quarters of the earth. Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle. Also, the World War III. He's going to trick them into the World War III, which is not something that they actually want. but he's going to deceive them to wherewith it's going to happen. And then they're going to kill him. Esau from America, and Esau from Russia is going to fight him also. The number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Verse 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet saw their military, NATO, and you have that woman sitting up on the beast, which that woman is America, are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So if you go here, Revelation 18 and 23, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. Because Esau is that beautiful light that everybody, that light beacon that everybody wants to go toward, especially in America. But when you're in Europe, you see that the heathen nations, they all want to come to the lands of Esau. Germany, England, France, Netherlands, Spain. Moroccans love to go to Spain because they speak that language. They would love to be a colony again, as do all the nations. And the voice of the bridegroom, and well, to a certain degree they would want it for the benefit's sakes, because then they could come into that land with a passport, a green card, naturally, instead of hiding on boats and hiding between cars and all these type of things. And the voice of a bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. Because everybody, when they're thinking about America, they're thinking about, marriage, feasting, and all that type of stuff. That type of vibration they are in. Are they in? For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Because he's doing a lot of witchcraft. He's doing witchcraft with words, because the Spirit of the Lord is in the word, because the word is the Lord Yahushua, right? I come in the volume of the book. So if you mess around with this book, you're doing witchcraft. But you cannot destroy the words of the Heavenly Father. You can only hide them. And eventually the Lord will give unto his men, starting with the elder apostles at the great millstone. The Lord will give them this word, and eventually it will trickle down onto the rest of the planet, the entire planet. Right. So going back to over here, let me see. It was given unto them to deceive the four quarters of the earth, because they're liars. So they say that this is a clerical error for this word. So this word is supposed to replace this one, which says Aramite, Syrian, Edomite. This basically cannot be, because you cannot be of two different nations at the same time. A man is the progenitor of a nation. A woman is the result of especially the end result of a bloodline. Right, so it says here that it is a clerical error for this word over here. So what is it supposed to say? It's and by the way, this word comes forth only, let me see, no, not this one. This word, Hebrew 130, only comes forth 12 times in the entire Bible, in the Strongs. This particular word, the Hebrews, Strong's Hebrew 130, only 12 times in the Bible. Starting with, of course, Deuteronomy chapter 23, which goes into, thou shalt not abhor a Syrian. But what is that Syrian, by the way? That Syrian is not talking about this Syrian. Wait, let me show you something. Genesis chapter 10, verse 21. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder. Even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. Now this is the other one. This is Aram, which is called Syria nowadays. Right? But you had Is this again? Yeah, here is mentioned too. Right. So you had this type of Syrian also. Now, Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 5. And thou shalt speak and say before Yahweh thy power, a Syrian ready to perish was my father. This Syrian is talking about Abraham, because that region over there used to be, not used to, it is named Aram, as you can see it here. It says here, I'll put all these links in the description box so you can check that out for yourself. I just took pictures. The names Syria, Assyria, Mesopotamia, Babylon, etc. stem from the Greeks, who were not familiar with the true geography of these lands when the names first started to be used. Later, partially because of continued ignorance and partially because of convenience, despite having accurate knowledge, they persisted, the Greeks, persisted in using them, since it would have required something of an effort to give up the old. So it's an effort to tell the truth for these devils. They're born speaking lies. Something of an effort to give up the old familiar names to them, familiar to them, and divisions, because they want to divide, because that's how they conquer you. And if you check out the modern times right now in the land which they call Syria nowadays, they actually set up these two. You have different religions over there, right? Fractions and stuff like that, whatever you call it. And they made sure that the big bulk, which is not in rulership, actually got the weapons and stuff like that. And then they're fighting against Assad. And that's why they took him down. You know, he had to flee from that land because he was in the power seat. And then all of a sudden, the ones that don't have the power but have a very large religious system within the Islam thing, they all of a sudden took over. And yeah, that's what's happening right now. So my point of mentioning that is to show you that Esau is still busy with divisions and divide and conquer, going in order to win of the countries and switch to the old new ones. He says new, but it's actually new to them, which is the real ones. Even if they were more accurate, it's not more accurate, it's just accurate. The old, true, and single name of these lands is Aram. So, Syria, Assyria, Mesopotamia, which is the land of Shinar, Babylon, which is in the land of Shinar, all of this, they are actually called the lands of Aram. All of them. Right. So, Abraham is not from the bloodline of this Aram, because Abraham comes from Arphaxad. As you can see that here. Wait, let me see something. As you can see that here, from Shem comes Arphaxad, and Arphaxad, Shelah, and then Eber, and then Peleg, and then Reu, then Seruch, then Nahor, which is the father of Terah, and then Terah, and then Terah begat Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. That's in the book of Genesis chapter 11. Anyway, so it says here, a Syrian ready to perish was my father. And this is the region. This is not the bloodline of Aram in Genesis 10. And he went down to Egypt and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous. You can also ascribe or subscribe. You can also ascribe Jacob unto this, because that happened unto him also. A lot of things that happened to Abraham happened to, not a lot of things, but I'm going to give an example. Things that happened to Abraham happened to Isaac also with his wife. Abraham with Sarah, things happened there. And then Isaac and Rebecca, things happened there concerning their wives too. So that's another example of, history kind of repeating itself. Concerning that he lied, that he said that's my sister. And if you check the history, they actually are family members. Sarah and Abraham and Sarah, family members. Isaac and Rebekah family, and Jacob and Leah and Rachel also family. So here, Genesis chapter 11, verse 26. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And then Haran died in Ur of the Chaldees. So Terah died in Haran. And okay, so Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Now Yahweh had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred. And what did he mean? He told him, get away from your brother Nahor, which was left in Haran. Now Haran was a man, but Haran was also a place. And from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. Verse 4. So Abraham departed as Yahweh had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abraham was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And then he went into the land of Canaan. But his brother Nahor stayed there in Haran. And where is Haran? It's actually this one then. Here. Here's Haran, but I had another one. I think it was this one. Wait. Yeah, it's called, the region is called Padan Aram. It's spelled with a double D here, but yeah. Padan Aram, which is that region over there. And from there comes Abraham, and then he went here to Haran, stayed there. His family stayed there, and he then left toward the land of Canaan, which is down here. More down here, actually, but yeah. Here. So he went to there. So Genesis 22, and I often repeat this because I'm now in this phase. So if you already know, sorry about that. Genesis 22 and 20. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she had also borne children unto thy brother Nahor, Huz his firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram, and Chesed, and Hazo, and Pildash, and Jidlap, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. So what is Rebekah from Abraham? From Isaac. Abraham fathered Isaac, and then Abraham, his brother, eventually fathered Rebekah. So their family. I think he's older, he's uncle or something. Isaac is uncle of Rebekah, if I'm correct. But yeah, you can check that out for yourself. But they're family, right? Okay, so let me see. These would then therefore be the cousin of all these five. Let me see how many? These 8 or something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 would be Isaac's cousin. And this one is another Ahdam, which is not of the bloodline of Ahdam, but his descendants are also Ahdam. Ahdam means Edomites and stuff like that. But they're from Eber, because as you can see it here, they're all from Eber through a fact side. So, but anyway, they're not called Hebrews, but still, because the Lord separated them, just like how he separated Ishmael and Isaac. Ishmael is a Hebrew Ishmaelite, but he's not really called that. And then Esau is also a Hebrew Edomite, but he's not really called a Hebrew Edomite. He's just called Edom or Esau. The Israelites are called Hebrew Israelites, because they took on that name because they were separated from the rest to keep the bloodline pure in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So pure in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right. So okay, that's that part. And then so Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother, and his concubine, whose name was Reumah, She bare also Teba, and Gaham, and Thahash, and Ma'akah. Right, I'm going to get back to Ma'akah. So Genesis chapter 24, verse 3. And I will make thee swear by Yahweh, the power of heaven and the power of earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell. But thou shalt go into my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac, because we spoke the land of Canaan, the language of Canaan. It says it in the book of Isaiah chapter 19. Then shall they speak the language of Canaan. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that's that language that we spoke there. And Abraham, he spoke the language of Aram. They call it Arameans nowadays, but he spoke that. Now, I would not know if that language that they have right now in Aram, in Syria and stuff like that, I don't know if that is pure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, we came from that region over there. So that's why it also says in the book of Deuteronomy, thou shalt not hate an Aramite, because of that place, and because our uncle Laban, he was there, but he's also not of the bloodline of Genesis chapter 10 Aram. He's not from that bloodline. He's from the same bloodline as Eber, because it's the same family. There's the same father, same father, so it's the same bloodline. But we were separated because the Lord chose the chosen bloodline. But that does not make him not from Eber, just like how it does not all of a sudden make Ishmael not from Abraham, or Esau not from Abraham. They are all Eber, including Nahor, and then therefore Bethuel, and then therefore Laban, and then therefore Leah and Rachel. They're all from Eber. Right. So verse 7, Genesis 24 and 7. Yahweh, the power of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred. And what land was that? Verse 10. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and departed, for all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia. So that is his land, where his kindred were, where Abraham's kindred were. Mesopotamia, unto the city of Nahor. So that city, which is the city of Haran. So Mesopotamia means what? The land between rivers. This is a Greek word. I just read it here also. The names Syria, Assyria, Mesopotamia, Babylon, etc. stem from the Greeks. Also the word Egypt. That's a Greek word. Also the word Ethiopian. That's another Greek word. Which also the name Phoenician. The word Phoenician is also a Greek word. So what does it mean? It actually means land between the rivers, which is the land mass called Iraq. But this thing is called, they also call it Sumeria. But it's the land mass is called Babylonia. And then you have the city of Babel, or Babylon. But in the scriptures it's called the land of Shinar. Right? So there's a lot of confusion going on, because that is what Esau does. But if he made it easy, then everybody would be able to make it. That's why the entrance to the world to come is made very narrow, so that you're not going to get it. That's what the Lord caused. Because I have seen a lot of crazy confusions upon the internet, but yeah. So it's fun, to talk about it and stuff like that. But anyway, so it says here. So, okay, so he went to that city. Go and jump into 15. Genesis 24 and 15. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abram's brother. And Rebekah and Isaac, they went together and made a child. well, two children, Esau and Jacob, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And here it is mentioned again. Then Genesis 25:20, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram. Padan Aram. That's that region. The sister to Laban, the Syrian. He's Laban called Aram, but he is from Eber. He's not from Aram from Genesis chapter 10. They're called Aram. Just like how you have Job. I always use, that's why I love being the basic scriptural guy. Because I always use the same scriptures to get a point across. Job chapter 1 verse 1. And the more you repeat it, the more it sinks in. Job 1:1. There was a man in the land of Uz. And where is Uz? Uz is in the land of Aram here. The children of Aram, Uz and Hul and Geter and Mash, which you can see that these are the children of Aram, which is the real Syria nowadays. The real people of the real descendants of the land named Syria nowadays. Right. So he would be called a Syrian, this man Job. But Job is an Israelite. Just like how you have Jacob descendants living in China. Are they Chinese? They're called Chinese. Doesn't because they speak the language. They definitely don't look Chinese. But anyway, that's another story. So going on to over here. Yeah, here you can see the bloodline of all of them, including Bethuel, because it's the same brother to Abraham, because it's the same father, that's what I mean. Terah is the father of them, here. Terah is the father of Abram, Nahor. So Nahor is of the same bloodline of Shem, Arphaxad, Eber, Terah, Abram. Same bloodline. Right, so going back to over, let me see, let me read this one again, sorry. 1 Samuel chapter 21 verse 7. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before Yahweh, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite. This is a Syrian. He's actually a Syrian. Like he's actually from Aram. The chiefest of the herd that belonged to Saul. So now I'm going to go back to this word over here again, which is here Doeg here, Hebrew 130, Hebrew 122. Sorry, where was I again? Wait. Okay, this one, sorry. Okay, this one, Hebrew 130. Hebrew 130, yeah, here was it. Right, so this one, and then you have a few other things that could, it could make you confused, yeah, because it shows you here the word, the word Hebrew 7:26, right? Hebrew 7:26. How many times is that mentioned in the scriptures? It's mentioned one time. And it's in 2 Kings 16:6. At that time, Rezin, king of Syria, recovered Elath to Syria. But here you can see they tricked two words, which is the 130, which goes to Edom. Ahdamya, which is ahdawam. fully set, ahdawam. And they put the other one here, which is Hebrew 7, 5, 8. And what is that? That's Aram. Here it says Aram. So, oh yeah, here it also says the grandson of Nahor, which is the one that I just read, which Kemuel is his father. Right. Anyway, which is in Genesis 22. Right. So Syria. So now here you don't see Edom. It doesn't say that in the English, but it does say that in the Hebrew. It's two words. It's Aram and ahdawam. Aramya and ahdawam. No, actually this one is Aram, and let me see, Ahdam. Yeah, Ahdam. Right. And drave the Jews from Elath, and the Syrians came to Elath and dwelt there unto this day. So here you can see, again, let me read it again. 2 Kings 16:6. At that time, Rezin, king of Aram. King of Aram. So he was a real Aramite, like from Genesis 10 Aram, that Aram. Recovered Elath to Aram. He took it back and drave the Jews Yahawada, yeah, right. Where was that? And this, and drave the Jews from Elath, as they was in that region, and the Syrians came to Elath, the people themselves, and dwelt there unto this day. So this is talking about Aram, but there's a tricky one here because they want to trick you with this one. But anyway, so now going back to over here. Right, so the Hebrew 130 now, right? Right, so this one is Hebrew 7, 26. Ahdawam. This one is Hebrew 130. Ahdam, yeah? Right. So if I scroll down, it says, okay, this one, thou shalt not whore, is Syrian. This one is where I'm at right now. He's a Syrian. Then answered Doeg, the Syrian. So it keeps on saying Doeg, the Syrian, right? Doeg, the Syrian. Here it says in 1 Kings, here comes something that is kind of tricky, right? That shows you that Esau is a real demon. He's a real satanic creature. But it was given unto him to deceive the four corners of the earth. And so what did he do with the 1 Kings? Well, I think I don't need this one. So here, this is 1 Kings chapter 11. So if you go to the Hebrew Strong's, let me see something. Okay, so okay, check this out. So it says here, 1 Kings 11, verse 1. Here it shows you that it says Hebrew 130 does the same thing again with the so-called clerical error. So if you read, let me read on. So okay, that's the first one here. And then let's start here, verse 14. So 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 14, it says, and Yahweh stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. So going to the 14, it says 130 again. Okay, so check this out. How Esau is a snake tongue, a double snout person, demon. For it came to pass, when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom. Now this is according to the history, because we did that. And this is one of the reasons why they also want to exterminate us. For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel, until he had cut off every male in Edom. That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him, to go to Egypt, Hadad being yet a little child. Verse 18, and they arose out of Midian and came to Paran, which is down there, is near Egypt, is near Mizraim, which is another word that Esau changed. It doesn't exist. It's Mizraim, because they don't want Egypt to be associated, so-called Egypt, to be associated with the sons of Ham. So they changed the name, and then therefore, now every time you read Egypt, you see pyramids in your head. Just like how, when you read, the earth is situated upon pillars. You see these pillars in your head. Because Esau does that. He plays around with minds. He is a genius. He's a demon. And a demon is very intelligent, by the way. He's a, but I don't mean it as a good thing to him. But anyway, let me go on. The point is that, sorry, he's a very intelligent, cunning serpent. You know, but he put this in our minds. When you speak of the pillars, you get this. But these are actually Hamitic pillars, because the Hamites did this. It was the Hittites, if I'm correct. Genesis chapter 36 shows you that. They built Seir, and Seir is a man, and he took that region over, and then the land was called, or the Mount Seir. It was actually a man. Shechem also is a man. He was the one that raped Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. And then the land later was called, actually before, was called Shechem. And then Jacob bought a parcel of land, and that land was Shechem. But the man Shechem was also a man, you know. And then it was given unto Manasseh and Ephraim, the land Shechem. They split it, but it was given unto Ephraim. But Manasseh dwelt there too. So yeah. Okay, so on where was I again? So that pillar, okay. Anyway, going on, and they came to Mizraim. So now if I put the word Mizraim, it will trigger your mind to think of a Hamite. You're going to see a dark-skinned person in your head, because that's what words do. They give an image. They give off an image. Just like the word blue. You can see blue now in your head. You get to pick which blue, you know. Dark blue, deep blue, sea blue, air blue, sky blue, I mean. Water blue, you know, stuff like that. But anyway. Unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, which gave him an house, and appointed him victuals, and gave him land. So this Hadad, right, so let me go on. Now it says here, going back to 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 17, that Hadad fled, he and certain of the Syrians of his father's servants, with him to go into Egypt, Hadad being yet a little child. And they arose out of Midian, which is one of the sons of Abraham, and came to Paran. And they took men with them out of Paran, And they came to Egypt, which is Mizraim, unto Pharaoh, king of Mizraim. Like I said, if I put the word Mizraim, you're going to get a Hamite in your head. Which gave him an house, and appointed him victuals, and gave him land. Okay, so that's that part. And then you can see that here throughout, they did the so-called clerical error thing. They did it 12 times to make it seem like it's talking about an Edomite. But if it was just an Edomite, then how come they don't use just the regular one, which is of which is this one, 123, which is Edom, which is the one that they refer to here. Right here? No, not here. Here. Yeah, which is the one that they refer to here, 123. But you know, you could say a lot of things like, hey, yeah, yeah, because you know certain words have different meanings, and also one word has different strongs. That's what I actually mean. Yeah, different strongs and stuff like that. But we know that the word is variant spellings for this word for Ahdamya is Ahdamya, or Strong's and Gesenius ahdawam. Yeah, ahdawam. Yeah, variant spellings for this word. So this one, Hebrew 7:26, that's Syrian. And they know, but they want to do the confusion thing, because that is how he destroys people. Or basically leads you astray so that there will be multiple versions. Instead, he could have just made he could have done it like 50 years ago, so something like that. Make all the translations from that time that they caught on to the error, he could have made all those translations from that time on. He could have corrected it there. He's not going to do it. Because if we didn't have the internet, or the Strongs, actually not the internet, I mean like the Strongs, because you do have books with Strongs and stuff like that. But niggas don't read. So if you want to hide something from a nigger, put it in the book. So our people don't read. I don't like reading neither. I never did. But Lord willing, the Bible I do read. That's like the first book that I read, and I actually enjoyed it. Right, so that's that part over here. So he had Syrians with his certain Syrians were along with them. So going over here now, this is talking about the other Haman. You know, this one is also mentioned in the Apocrypha there. But he is this one, the Agagite, he is descendant from this Amalekite. So that's another Haman. Okay, so the word Edom, it goes, so this one, the word 103, Hebrew 103, Ahdam, goes to this one, which is Ahdam still, but Hebrew 122, which is Hebrew 122, which is Ahdam, which means red, ruddy, of man, horse, heifer, garment, water, lentils. This ruddy is this red is not what they say that it is, because the word ruddy, horse, for example, ruddy horse is brown, and then ruddy heifer is this, also different shades of brown. And you can, this is a little bit, it looks orange, this one looks orange. This is why I say that there's no such thing as redheads. Like a redhead, it's just orange. It looks brown, but I know she dyed her hair. But this one is a real one. It looks brown to me. It's brown. And here, in autumn leaves, They're lying in autumn leaves. If they do the autumn leaves thing, you can see that it's brownish, but this is dyed yellow, orange actually. If you check out this one, then you will see her hair is kind of like the t-shirt, which is brown orange-ish, and the leaves are brown, but you do have red leaves also. So I know that, you know, Bordeaux actually very dark red. But anyway, this one is brown. It's brownish orange-ish. Okay, this is clearly red, but her hair is orange type, orange-ish, brownish, and you can catch that here. Here you have this color which is orange, bright orange, but if you put black to it, it turns brown. More black, it turns browner. So I can match it if I go play around with it. But if you put a little bit more white, it turns into this, and then this, which is the children of the heifer, as you can see it here. Well, not this one actually. Where is it? I just put it here. This one. It's brown, but then with white. See? With a little bit black. Bit more brown, a bit more white. Then you have like this color. Then you have this, you know, or this. So that is ruddy, and the one that they're talking about is actually blood. But I'm gonna get back to that. Now you have a ruddy garment, which is brown because fur of an animal is brown. Ruddy moose, it's brown. Here you have this one, ruddy jacket, which is brown. Here you have a ruddy duck, which is a brown duck. Ruddy water. If you look at water, what color does it have? Especially wait. You see the ruddy duck also, but what color does it have? See that it's so-called black, but it's so-called dark brown. Because if you look at the, for example here, a ruddy cow. If you look at a different angle, the cow is dark brown. But if you put them in the sun, it's gonna look like this. It's a different cow, I know. But this one here it looks black, and then you have here beautiful bright brown, right? And then you have this one is the same, well, not the same, but I mean the same color scheme. You know, this one is a little bit darker compared to why is it so blurry? This one is obviously black, but yeah, this one is orange, this one is brown again, dark brown, and you can see little orange spots and stuff like that. The lighter it gets, the more orange-ish it gets. This one looks like a donkey, like almost gray brownish. Looks gray, going into gray, you know. That you have that one also. Let me see if I can emulate that one. See, this one going into gray, a little bit white. That's then therefore this one. It's all variances of brown. This one brown going almost into white. Here you have very bright brown, and then brown going almost into yellow, which you can also see here. The more brown, and then you put here, where is it here? Yellow, brownish. And you play around with this one, yellow, but if you make it darker, it goes into that one and stuff like that. Anyway, it's all playing around in that spectrum of that color spectrum thing over there. Anyway, enough of this. So yeah, water is also dark, but it depends on what type of angle you're looking at the water. Let me see, water front. in the woods. How you call that thing again? Water. Oh yeah, this one. Look. Right, it looks black, but you can see through it. It's brownish, brown water. Here you have Coca-Cola, Cola Creek. Cola Creek. They call it Cola Creek because the water looks like it's cola. It's brown. It's like Coca-Cola, and here you can see it. Coca-Cola, if you look at it deeply, like when it's deep, it looks black, but when you when it's not when it's not thick, like condensed, then it looks brown. Right? Okay, so enough of this. Oh yeah, lentils, ruddy lentils. Damn it, I spelled that. Ruddy lentils. Here. Brownish. Orangish, brownish. Okay, enough of this. And then, okay, that's that. So this is the ruddy, but I have another one concerning that. Because if you type in here blood, which it's going to say it actually here somewhere. It says here, which is frequently used in the names of colorish. Red, ruddy, used for garments stained with blood, Isaiah 63:2. Okay, so remember red and ruddy. Okay. So now if you go to the word Ahdam, which is Genesis chapter 2 verse 19, Hebrew 120. Did I put it here? Yeah, I did. So Hebrew 120. It says, man, perhaps, like as if they don't know, perhaps so called for the idea of redness. They're lying to you. So man is for the idea of redness. So they want to make you think like man is red. Yeah, whatever. The Arabs distinguish two races of men. One red, ruddy. They're trying to. They also wrote it to where you're questioning yourself, like, so what? Why don't you just say one red, the other ruddy? And then you read on, which we call white, the other black. They wrote it in this manner to trick you, like to make you guess. And that is one of the tricks of Esau. He is here to create doubt, because through doubt you fall. Because O thou of little faith, why didst thou doubt? And then Peter began to sink because he wasn't sure. You need to be sure. Esau is the creator of doubt to make you fall to the water. Sorry. He's the creator of doubt because, let me see something here. And going back to the word Edom, which is here. Hebrew 122. Okay, he says here ruddy, right? And then you go to this one, which is Hebrew 119. It says here to be red, right? To be red. So the blood the blood shows in the face, died, and then he wants to play around again with the red and ruddy. This is what Esau is doing, playing around because he wants to fit himself where he doesn't belong. So now going to the word Ahdam again. Ahdam, Hebrew 120. This one also goes to the word Hebrew 119. To be red, ruddy of the Nazarites. This was actually dark skinned, brown, different shades of brown. So what is he talking about? He's talking about actual this one, which is blood. Hebrew 18:18. Blood. It says dam. Dam. That's actually blood. That's the red blood. And then it shows you here from this one, Strong's 1826. No, this is let me see. Dam. Damam. Yeah, but not that one. Actually, I want this one here. Compared to 119 blood as when the shed of death. This is the red blood that Esau it actually is. Ahdam. That's the red one he is. You know? But anyway, going back to over here. Let me see. You have here red bones, which is different shades of brown. You have deep brown. This is not deep, but it's deeper than this one. You have lighter brown. You have this one brown with the orange hair, brownish hair, same color as the hat. So it's brown, orange-ish hair. Ruddy, ruddy duck, ruddy lentils, ruddy cow, earth skin colors of people. Ruddy complexion goes also into orange, from yellow, and then add black. Yeah, so going on, ruddy statue, which is bronze. Ruddy statue I typed in, and then you can see a brown dog statue. And then you have already got that one. You have this one. Clerical already did that one. So going back to over here, 1 Samuel chapter 21 verse. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before Yahweh, and his name was Doeg, a Syrian, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. And David said unto Ahimelech, And is there not here under thine hand spear or sword? For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me, because the king's business requireth haste. And the priest said, The sword of Goliath the Philistine, whom thou slewest in the valley of Elah. Behold, it is here wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take that, take it. If thou wilt take that, take it. Sorry. For there is no other save that here. And David said, There is none like that. Give it me. And David arose and fled that day for fear of Saul, and went to Achish, the king of Gath. And the servants of Achish said unto him, Is not this David, the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s? Even they heard of the songs, and they saw him, because they was like, hey, ain't this that guy? I remember this guy. Ain't he supposed to be the king? So the thing that Saul was fearing, it actually came over in the minds of the other people also, the same thing, like, wait a minute, then he's the king then, because he's killing more than him. So the thing, but Saul had demons on him too, but he was also jealous because of the females. He was jealous because of the status that he has and all that David had and all that type of stuff. Verse 12. And David laid up these words in his heart. He was thinking in his mind like, shit. And was sore afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. Because, they said these things. And what did they do? And he changed his behavior before them, and feigned himself mad in their hands, and scraped on the door of the gate. So he was scratching like he was, you know how these you know how these drug addicts, they scratch themselves into oblivion. They scratch themselves. Let me see. Drug addicts. Why do they scratch themselves? They scratch themselves like this, oh yeah. What's this guy's name? He's scratching himself. Tyrone Biggins. He was scratching himself. Well, he was scratching the doorpost and like that. and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. Then said Achish unto his, but they caught him. They saw him, they grabbed him up, and then they brought him in front of the king Achish of Gath. Then said Achish the king of Gath unto his servants, Lo, ye see the man is mad. Wherefore then have ye brought him to me? Have I need of mad men, that ye have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into mine house? Because he was playing nuts, because he was like, shit, kind of outnumbered over here. But not only that, he was genuinely afraid. He was like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And then yeah, so he left. He played crazy. So he did that, and it worked out good for him. But yeah, so let me see if I missed something here. I don't think I missed something. No. Yeah, I don't have to actually mention this. Yeah, whatever. Okay, Ahimelech, that one. Geshuri. Okay, just real quick. You had two Geshurites. You had the one that was a Hamite, and then you had the one that were the children of Nahor, Mahites. These were the ones that I actually said that I would come back to, but it was not really needed. As you can see here, this one, Mahites. Sorry. That's what these. Now, these Geshurites are not Aram because, well, let me see. By the way, Machir, the Manassite, his mother was a Aramatas. She was from Aram. Now, whether it was the Aram from whether it was the Aram from wow. From Nahor or the Aram from Aram, Genesis 10, I don't know. It doesn't specifically say that. What the fuck? Wow. Yeah, that was stabby. Whoa. Anyway. 1 Chronicles 19:6. And the children of Ammon saw that they had made themselves a dubious, basically stinky, unpleasant to David. Hanun and the children of Ammon sent 1,000 talents of silver to hire them chariots and horsemen out of Mesopotamia and out of Aram Maa'aka, and out of Zobah. And Zobah is Hamath. Hamath. Where is that again? Where did I put that one again? Zobah. Here. What? Land of Tob, Gilead. Here's the land Gilead. Here. Zobah. So Hamath is Zobah. That's in the land of Hamath. And Syria, Macha is what I just showed you. And so they hired 30,000. Okay, from the king of Hamath. Wow. Anyway, you had here 2 Samuel 15:8. For thy servants vowed a vow while I abode at Geshur in Syria. So this Geshur is from Syria. There is where King David took a wife of Geshur, and that son was Absalom. There is where he fled toward when he wanted to murder his father. And here, Gilead, you had the Geshurites and the Machites. Yes. Here's the same thing. And then, of course, you had the other Geshurites in Joshua 13, which these Geshurites were Hamites because they were at the border of the Philistines. So this one is another one. It's down south of Israel. And this one is up north of Israel. So they had the same name. Right, so these are the Geshurites. See, there's two different ones. It's the Machites. Here again, no. Let me see something here. No. Right, just to be sure I didn't miss anything. Midian. Yeah. But this Haman is another Haman. Ruddy. The same red pottage. Yeah, because Edom means red. They put the Ruddy there, but they damn sure know hella well that blood is red. They know damn it well that that one red, another Ruddy, which we call nowadays in 2025 white, is what red is what they call white. And Ruddy is what nowadays people call black, which is different shades of brown, because it's not just one color. It's actually different shades of brown. Excuse me, but yeah. So that's why they call it the red bone, because it's brown. It's not red. This is brown. Clearly a very light brown. So clearly it is brown. That's the point. And this one is orange haired. But if you look at orange hair, it actually goes into brown. These are all fake orange hairs, and these is fake red. The people that are born with it, and Irish. These ones are real. This is brown, orange-ish. This is dyed orange, so anyway, it doesn't color. Shit. Here, you have different, this is kind of really brown. This is almost going into yellow. But you can check that out for yourself. Brown again. I can clearly see brown. I don't know what they see. Here I see orange-ish. This is brown, man. But anyway. Right, so just like the lentils are brown. You have orange too. Dark and green. That's the Ruddy thing. Yeah, so there you have it. And Zoab Hamath is near Syria, of course. But that whole region is called Hamath also. But you had the land of, it's called Aram. But you had the land of Hamath there too, in the midst of Aram. Yeah, so there you have it. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.